hours at Buzz's Tavern, where creative juices and sometimes alcohol flow. I'm Aliya DalRae,
And I'm Cynthia Carver.
and tonight our focus is on goals, accomplishments, and the challenges that we as authors face. Whether you're new to our podcast or a return attender, we are glad to have you with us. If you like videos or podcasts about writing and all that entails, you've come to the right place. Remember to give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, or ring the bell, and we would greatly appreciate it. So if you're ready, alrighty then, let's get to it. To Twitter, because Cynthia, you said you started on Twitter, right?
I did.
Okay. That's really where I started too. I mean, I was on Facebook, but Twitter has a really active writers community. And there are, I found these, they're like hashtags. There's hashtag Musemon, Musemon, hashtag thirds words, THURDSWRDS, hashtag one, the number one line one line Wednesday. And there's a bunch of them. There's tons of them. Some of them that I did before are gone. I was trying to check them up before we came on. But those are the ones that I know for sure are still active. And I mean, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had like 11 of them that I was following. And I had seriously, I have spreadsheet.
See, I never had the spreadsheet and I never followed the hashtags.
Oh, yeah.
I was lucky to get the 180 characters.
Yeah. Well, what these hashtags do, they give you a like one word prompt, like give us a line that has the color black in it. And you go search through your work in progress and you find a really cool line with the word black in it. I mean, and it's the topics change. I mean, they're different for every hashtag.
Yeah.
They're different every week. And you just go in and you add your line with the hashtag.
Oh, okay.
And then the other people that are reading through that, sometimes they're readers, sometimes most of the time they're authors. I'm not going to lie. You're going to meet a lot of authors this way. But we authors read too. Most of us started out reading. So it's fun to go through and read the other people's lines, and you're like, oh wow, that's really cool, or that's really neat. And then it's fun when they say, oh wow, yours is really cool too. And you give each other some love, and sometimes they'll be like, well, what was that from? Can I get your book? And you make friends. I mean, I met Mary Waldron. You know Mary?
Mm-hmm.
I met her initially on Twitter in these hashtag groups.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, that's where I first met Mary. Van Allen, I don't know if you've seen Van Allen on Facebook.
I don't think so.
He writes awesome zombie apocalypse. He doesn't call them stories; he calls them public service announcements. If you're into zombie apocalypse stuff, please check out Van Allen, because I mean, I laugh and I think, is this real?
It could be.
It might be real, but yeah, he's amazing, and he has other stories too that are really incredible. Maybe someday we can talk him into joining us.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, but he actually is the person who started calling me ADR. And that's where I got my ADR's sweet and spicy newsletter. It's my street name, folks. I'm ADR.
Well, my newsletter is the Roaming Reads, and
that's awesome.
That comes from my nomadic lifestyle, because I'm known as Roaming Raven in the nomadic area. So that's kind of, yeah.
It's very cool. That's, it's funny how we pull those things in, isn't it? Because, but they speak to us and about us. And that's another thing, is that you want the people that you make, that you touch base with. You want them to see you as a person first. You don't want to be shoving your book down people's throats all the time. I'm not saying don't advertise for it. I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm just saying post a funny meme, about even, about reading or something. Post a funny meme about a popular TV show. Um, or just, talk about yourself, or pictures of your cat. I don't have a cat.
You
But
can borrow mine.
I'm going to have to. Look at that, sweetheart. Oh my gosh. Her eyes are going crazy. Her eyes, his eyes.
Hers, and
Her-
she's my big cat.
Wow, she's something. So, but yeah, so pictures of your cat. Yeah, but the biggest thing is, I could go on and on. I have 1,000 other things that we can bring up, at another time. But the biggest, most important thing is for you to be visible. And as hard as that is, you just, I'm sorry, you got to suck it up.
Yeah,
And
because newsletters were the hardest thing for me to do.
newsletters are terrible.
They were.
They
So
hurt.
I started sending. I started out on MailChimp, and I think I could have something like 500, or maybe it was 1,000 free each month.
It's 2,000 now, so I'm not sure what it
Okay.
was back then, but it's 2,000 now.
And I didn't have anyone on my list. There was me and my test email. I went ahead and did the newsletters anyway. So that
Wow.
I would practice talking to people.
Well, that's cool.
I now have my system. So in
Okay.
my newsletter, your first portion of the newsletter, you're going to get something about me and my lifestyle. I'm going to tell you where I spent the week. I'm going to tell you if I had any RV troubles. I'm going to tell you my RV lifestyle. For those that don't know it, I am a nomad. I live out of a 34-foot Class A. My 2 dogs, my 2 cats, and me. And you should, I let the website go. But I would post pictures of where I was at each week, 6 weeks later, so that no one could actually follow me and show up
Smart.
where I was at.
Yeah. There's that.
Now that my rig has a custom paint job, and when I was out west last year, people would follow me around because because they saw the rig, they thought I knew who they were.
Ouch. That's a little scary.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, I understand why you let the website go now.
Yeah, I did.
That stinks.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm currently traveling a little different right now. But I still live in my 34-foot RV, and I still have my 2 dogs and 2 cats. And let's see, this week alone, I have I'm deep in the woods. I'm
Mhm.
deep in the Appalachian Mountains right now. I have run across squirrels, hawks. I had a hawk fly underneath my awning.
Oops.
That's rather close. And
Yeah.
let's see, squirrels, hawks, all kinds of birds, and a deer. Oh, an elk. An elk. Its footprint
That's
was as big as
awesome.
my hand.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was right outside my bedroom window. I know. But
That's crazy.
here's the kicker. I was walking home and I heard stop. And I thought, okay. So I started listening out here to see if, I could hear the elk. Oh no, it was right in front of me. It was a copperhead. And he struck at me twice.
Oh, yikes. Did you
Just
have your
about,
boots on?
oh man, no, I was in flip-flops. I'm sure I squealed. I don't remember.
I'm sure you did.
But I mean, he didn't bite me. It was just enough to give me warning.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like we both stopped, we both backed up, and I just froze.
Oh
I
my
didn't
gosh.
move. I didn't go any further toward him or away from him. I just stood there, and pretty
Yeah.
soon, he went on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no kidding. No
Oh,
kidding.
and I mean, I'd seen the black snakes, the blue racers, that kind of stuff. They'd crossed my path before on my evening walks, but
Mm-hmm.
that was the first time I'd ever had the copperhead.
Oh
Now,
boy.
my sister lives in the Appalachians too, and one night we were sitting. This is story time at Buzz's.
Maybe we've had a few. You never know.
Right, and so we were watching. What was it? Oh, Queen Latifah's. Anyways, it was Queen Latifah's show that she's in, and
I know it. And I can't think of it.
I I looked at my sister and I said, "There's a snake crawling up your curtain." She goes, "What?"
As you would.
Now I am terrified of snakes.
Really?
Yeah,
That surprises me.
I am. I'm terrified of them. It is a I it is a reflex that my grandmother taught me,
Mm-hmm.
and it I'm am re, I'm behaving more calmly around them now that I've
Okay.
reached this age. So I get up very calmly because this is a pretty long snake that's wrapping around the wires behind the TV.
Oh my
And I'm sweeping
gosh.
all the furniture out of the room. And my sister says, I understand the words, but they're not computing. And I just kind of move her and I go, look. She goes, oh my God, there's a snake. I'm going, yes. So
That's
it was
funny.
it was one of the racers that stands up on its hind legs and chases you.
Oh my gosh.
So they also kind of go up the curtains because
Yeah.
they're able to stand.
Mm-mm,
And
mm-mm,
so
mm-mm.
so I think I see it crawl into the DVD box. No. Well, yes. So, we're moving it around and and she says, goes, I've got the box. I'll put something on top of it and I'll move it outside. I said, okay. Well, she moved it outside and that little voice says, you better check behind the shutters.
No.
Now, her windows are about 36 inches wide.
Okay.
And it went probably 4 times, in a curve.
Yeah.
And it was long and then its tail wrapped up and around. And so, it was quite long for a snake that was probably the size of your index finger. I mean, it was really a
Oh
skinny little
wow.
snake.
He
And
was hungry.
the dogs, 6 dogs were laying there and didn't even bark at it. It's like, what? But I'm moving all the furniture around of the living room so that I can watch where it might go. So she goes outside, removes the screen from the window, and and give her like a, what was it, a yardstick, and
Mhm.
she's trying to get it to go out.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Mm. So in my newsletter, you get stories like that in your first paragraph.
In my newsletter, you get nothing like that.
And then my second one, my second paragraph is usually about either new releases or where I'm going to be. So
Mhm.
like this last one that went out, it told you about the book event that's going to be in Lancaster,
Mhm.
uh, Pennsylvania, and it's on September the 17th.
Right.
So you got that, and then the last half of it, if I am invited to have a swap where I swap um, newsletters with other people,
Mhm.
you'll get a list of paranormal, different types of paranormal stories that you can get from anywhere between free and it's $2.99. So, and
Cool.
but that's how I got comfortable writing my newsletters. I was sending them to myself.
Well, and you knew you had a captive audience.
Yes, yes, I knew who I was.
So, well, and it's funny because mine is kind of set up in the same way. I have, my first part is a hey everybody, how you doing? This has been my last. I do them every 2 weeks. This has been my last couple of weeks. This is my writing progress. These, I'm excited about this. Um, Maybe I might, touch on if, I've got new releases or pre-orders or like the anthology or something. And then I go into different sections. And then I've got like coming soon from ADR. And that's where I put any pre-orders. So like right in the one I just did, I've got the Sisters Grimm anthology. And then I've also got Bitter Bargain, which it was actually in the Kaleidoscope Hearts 4 anthology back in it came out Valentine's Day.
Okay.
But now I got my rights back to it, so I'm publishing it as a standalone. So yes, um, so it's in there as well. And then I have any other like new release, and then I have coming soon, and then I have new from Aliya or ADR if it applies. If not, then I scrap that
Mhm.
section. And then I have my signings that I'm going to be at, and I have all of the details for that, including my pre-order links and pre-orders for the signings, which are different from
Mhm.
pre-orders for the books. The pre-orders for the signings are actually people who are coming to the signing and they order your books ahead of time so that you can guarantee that you have what they want when they get there. Because
Right.
as any of you who do signings know, you can only carry so many books with you.
Right.
And when you have a big list like mine, like I said, I'm up to 21 now. When you have that many, it's hard to carry some of everything. So if people want something in particular, it's nice if they can let you know ahead of time, and they can take time, over several
Mhm.
months to pay, and it works out for everyone. So I have all my signings listed, and then I do, as you said, the book swaps with other authors. So I list other, and it's mostly paranormal romance or urban fantasy. I do some straight romance. There is the occasional LGBTQ because I do have one um, book. So I will do swaps with that. And then after that, I have promos because sometimes I get in these promos um, through Prolific Works, which again, another show. We will definitely be discussing Prolific Works and sites like them. Um, but I do promos where people put together groups of books, and there can be anywhere from a dozen to I've seen them upwards of 100 that you can go in, and they're either short stories that you can download for free, or if you sign up for somebody's newsletter, or it's books that are on sale, or I mean there's another category that I do. Kindle Unlimited. There are some that they're all on Kindle Unlimited. So, there's a lot of options for you to not only learn about my books, but to find your next favorite author via my newsletter as well. So it's just like it's almost identical to your format, Cynthia. It's so funny. And no, we've never compared notes until now. So it's kind of interesting that we had it laid out almost exactly the same way, except your stories are way more interesting than mine. I'm just going to say. I'm going to put it out there right now. I don't have a cat.
I have to entertain my fans, my readers with something, because I don't have the backlist you have yet.
Well, you're working on it. You'll get there. You'll get there.
I will. But I do know that, and I have been asked, my shamaness in silhouette is almost a how to begin your path to walk a magical lifestyle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I've had people ask if I would, consider at some point, having workshops on that. And I would. I used to do one for the RWA online, International Online Charter, on witches, wizards, and sorcerers.
Cool.
So I used to do one online, and so I'm thinking, that might be something else. And if you're interested, let us know below.
Absolutely. Yeah. I doubt we'll ever run out of things to talk about, but it would be nice to talk about what you want to hear.
That's true. Otherwise, we just babble about,
snakes and elves and
raccoons.
My lack of a cat. Well, that being said, like I said, we could go on and on and on, but I think that's a good place to hang it up for tonight. Buzz is sweeping around us. I think I heard him with his broom banging around because, he gets irritated when he has to stay late. It's not like he doesn't live upstairs. He does. So
I'm looking forward to when he starts stomping around.
Oh yeah, that'll. We don't want that. When the stomping comes, it's really bad. So, but anyway, so I think that's it for tonight. We want to thank you all for being with us, hanging out with us. Be sure to tune in to Start Your Day at Tracy's Cafe on Monday for tips and tricks on goal setting, time management, and accountability. And that's Start Your Day at Tracy's Cafe, where writers meet inspiration. And we'll probably talk about, some more like critters and stuff.
Well, we will probably go over the book, the planner.
Oh, the planner. Ooh, let's do that. Let's do that. That's a great idea.
Because part of your goal setting and being able to accomplish, and you've got to be able to know what you're doing.
Very good point.
Otherwise, I'll forget.
No kidding. Well, you're not letting me forget.
No, I'm writing it down. So, on that note,
yep, we appreciate
it.
Yeah, we appreciate you all. Look forward to seeing you next week. You can follow both me and Cynthia on social media by following the Linktree links below. And don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and give us a thumbs up before you go. Have a great night, and it's lights out at Buzz's Tavern.